Namo Narayana. Namaskaram to all. I am so blessed and happy to share the holy story of Sri Ramanujacharya, a chief exponent of Visist Advaita community of Vedanta and a great social reformer. Once he said, if I can able to bring wisdom to so many, I don't mind being going to hell. He is such a marvelous and a great spiritual guru. He took all initiative to spread his holy messages even to the lowest economically backward people. He wrote many philosophical works and preached oneness of mankind. Nearly 1,000 years passed since Sri Ramanuja left this holy earth. Yet his legacy as a spiritual guide, teacher, and philosopher remains alive. He is considered to be one of the greatest spiritual leader of Visishtadvaita Vedanta, one of the 6 classical systems of Indian philosophy. Sri Perumbudur, 50 kilometers from Chennai, 1,000 years ago, lived there a couple named Asuru Kesavacharya and Gandhimati. Asuru Kesavacharya is so religious and he used to do lot of pujas to Sriman Narayana. They were leading a happy and peaceful life, but they did not have a child for a long time. Tirukachi Nambi, a greatest Acharya and well-wisher of Asuru Kesavacharya, advised the couple to visit Parthasarathi of Tiruvallikeni and suggested them praying to God to have a child. The couple went to Tiruvallikeni and did yaganas to the Lord. As a result, after a year or so, 4th April 1017 AD, Gandhimati gave a birth to a child. The child had lot of auspicious marks on the body. The boy later called Ramanuja. When Sri Ramanujacharya attained 16 years, he married Raksadambal. His father died within few days of marriage, and this caused Ramanujacharya considerable grief. He gathered his young wife and mother, left for Kanchipuram and settled there. Govinda Bhatta, his cousin and a closest friend to whom Ramanujacharya used to share mutual affection start from his childhood, joined with Ramanuja's family. Ramanuja's married life lasted till he was 30. He gave up his family life for the sake of religion. Ramanuja did not receive all the texts in Vedanta. He was on the lookout for a right guru. Yadava Prakasa, a superior Acharya of those time, Ramanuja became his student. Ramanuja did not happy in the manner the teacher taught to him. Ramanuja's point of view, Yadava Kesavacharya was not explaining the texts properly. Lot of differences between Ramanuja and the Guru. In due course, the difference became big. At the same time, Ramanuja's popularity increased. His cousin Govinda Bhatta also joined in Gurukulam and he started studying with Ramanujacharya. His fellow students hated Ramanuja and they wanted to get rid of him. Once the teacher and the students, including Govinda, Ramanuja, were going to pilgrimage to Varanasi, they approached the Vindhya mountains and they were traveling through a dense forest where Yadava Prakasa and his disciples planned a plot to kill Ramanuja. Govinda sensed somehow and advised Ramanuja to run away for his life. Accordingly, Ramanuja went away, Yadava, Prakasa, and his students, with a great anxiety and angry, searched in the forest. Finally, they themselves presumed that wild animal had killed him, and they were started on the way to Varanasi. After escaped into the forest, Ramanuja ran for a long distance and he sat under a tree to take rest. Was so tired, asleep immediately. When he woke up, he saw a hunter couple were coming near to him. They asked if they had lost his way. Ramanuja said yes, and he wanted to go to Kanchipuram. The couple informed they were going to Rameswaram via Kanchipuram and they will take Ramanuja there. Ramanuja also agreed to go along with the couple to reach Kanchipuram. Next day morning, wife of the hunter couple wanted to drink water. So Ramanuja went to a nearby well and brought some water. Even after thrice or four times, she wanted more water. Ramanuja, surprised, without any hesitation, he went once again to well and brought water. As soon as he came back, he saw the couple were missing. He looked around, he saw a big tower of a temple. People were walking nearby. He asked Pasar what was the place, and he understood it was Kanchipuram. Immediately, Ramanuja realized it was a drama played by Sriman Narayana and Lakshmi to bring back safely Ramanuja to Kanchipuram. Ramanuja thanked wholeheartedly for his God's mercy and shown the blessings to him. By this time, Ramanuja came to the attention of a guru by the name Yamunacharya, who is a famous teacher of Vasishtha Advaita school. He was an elderly man aware that he was dying. He had been searching for a right person to follow his tradition. Upon seeing Ramanuja, he was fully convinced that he was the right person to continue his teachings. Once Yamunacharya learned about the separation of Ramanuja and his guru, he invited Ramanuja to Srirangam. Ramanuja traveled to Srirangam to meet the famous teacher. Upon arrival, he discovered that the great man had died. He viewed the body and observed that 3 fingers of Yamunacharya were twisted, and Ramanuja interpreted this is to be a message directing to him to follow 3 pledges to make the people to surrender to God. The disciples of Yamunacharya informed Ramanuja he had been selected by their guru to continue his teachings across the country. Ramanuja became a famous teacher and lived in Srirangam. Like any other saint, he took intensive pilgrimage throughout India. Upon his return to Srirangam, the king of Chola dynasty prosecuted him. King was a strict follower and a worshipper of Lord Shiva. He wanted Ramanuja to follow his religious views. Ramanuja flew to Mysore. On arrival Mysore, he further traveled to Saligrama and met Yaduha Nambi, a priest of local Narasimha temple. He became Ramanuja's disciple. Pond Sripada Tirtha is kept as a memorial marking the visit of Sri Ramanuja, where local people used to visit to get the blessings of Sri Ramanuja. Sri Ramanuja traveled in eastern side and he reached Tondanur, a second capital of Hoysala Empire. Vittala Devaraya was the king. His daughter was suffering from some mental illness. He sent for Ramanuja, who became a good physician by that time. He cured the illness of princess to the delight of the king. Vittala Devaraya shown his entire faith towards Ramanuja and he became Vaisnava. From then onwards, he came to known as Vishnuvardhana. In memory of the great event, Vishnuvardhana built 5 Vaishnava temples in Karnataka. Even today, these temples are lasting as monuments of the Karnataka's heritage and architecture. Ramanuja built many temples in Tondanur. He also built a big reservoir called Tirumala Sagara, popularly known as Modi Talab. Ramanuja left Tondanur for Malkota. It was also known as Yadavakiri. It was a fully hilly area with a dense forest, where original ideal of Sri Narayan was hiding inside the forest. Ramanuja got it back by digging it out and he installed the idol in a specially built sign. There is an interesting and beautiful story about the Melkota temple. The Urchava Murti, normally a small deity of the same original deity, which is used to be taken out in procession. Formerly, it was not, the temple was not having the Urchava Murti. It was said that it was under the custody of a Delhi king. So Ramanuja went to Delhi to see the Muslim Sultan. Sultan also very impressed by seeing Ramanuja's magnificent personality. He confirmed he did not have any objection in returning back the idol, provided his daughter agrees for the same. Initially, Sultan's daughter was not at all ready to return the idol to Ramanuja. After several rounds of lengthy discussions, Sultan's daughter, with a half-hearted mind, she agreed to return back the idol. She loved the deity so dearly, she also followed with the group who were taking the idol back to Melkoti. One particular point, when she understood she cannot get back the idol, she ended her life at the feet of idol itself. In memory of Sultan's daughter, who is an admirer of Lord Krishna, Ramanuja built a temple called Bibi Nachiyar Temple at Melkoti. He also built another temple for Bibi Nachiyar at Srirangam. It is surprising to note that Muslims as well as Hindu are visiting these two places to worship Bibi Nachiyar. The Harijan community people were in great help to Ramanuja in building various temples. They also extended their support in completing various public utility works in Melkote. Ramanuja used to call them Tirukulathar. He arranged to have them admitted to the temple. By his incomparable social welfare activity, Ramanuja is considered to be the greatest social reformer born in entire Hindu religion. Sri Ramanujacharya lived in Karnataka more than 20 years. He built Yadiraja Math, various other maths, temples in Karnataka. Ramanuja wanted to come back to Srirangam. He reached Srirangam and renovated various temples which were in ruin condition. By that time, Ramanuja became an old man at the age of 120 years. His eyes turned heavenward since he had completed whatever he wanted to achieve in life. Finally, he decided to leave his mortal body. A life-size statue of Ramanuja was made. Ramanuja breathed his life into the statue before he passed away. Life-size statue was installed in Sri Perambudur. Sri Ramanuja delivered his final message to his disciples. Said your egos, love entire human mankind who are all the children of God. Do not humiliate anyone. No one is inferior. What is superior importance is purity in mind and its action. This spectacular message spread across the country through his 74 disciples and mosques built in various parts. The end was nearing. Ramanuja laid down by keeping his head on the lap of Govinda and his feet on Andhrapurani's lap. He attained divine bliss in that same Bosar in the year AD 1137. Ramanuja is considered to be the superior saint who spread the entire discipline across the society by spreading Vaishnavism. He given a new dimension, new focus to the Indian Vaishnavism, and he is considered to be the greatest saint of the greatest country. Sri Ramanuja Saranam Baruham Sri Rasa Mahamyam Subhakara Charitam Om Namo Narayana.